Hello again. Welcome to Outdoor Women's Wellness YouTube channel. I'm very excited to be here and join Outdoor Women's Wellness to talk about body image. I think it's something that no matter where you are as a female, we are kind of always reminded in our society of the size that we are or how we're functioning at that size or whatever. So if you're an athlete, if you're a mother, a daughter, a friend, a female, non-female, non-binary, whatever brings you here, welcome. I think that no matter what, you're going to find something beneficial from this information. I know I did when I was doing some research, and it's a continuous process and journey for all of us. So, body image means how we see ourselves in our body. So body image is not necessarily your BMI or your weight, and that, or even really it's more so like how you identify in your body. So do you have a healthy relationship with that identification or not? The goal obviously is to see yourself in a healthy way, is to see yourself and accept yourself in the mirror. Or when you think about yourself, when you're thinking about what you're putting into your body and how you're moving and how you're treating yourself. So I'm just going to have you guys at home take out a piece of paper if you're a writer person, if you like pencil and paper kind of thing. Take out a piece of paper and a pen and define what healthy means to you. And I'll give you a second to do that. You can press pause, so we're not awkwardly staring at each other. So define what healthy means to you. Identify how to meet that definition. So does healthy mean I am feeding my body with whole foods? I am sleeping well. It's a body that doesn't have this knee pain or whatever it may be. The goal is sustainability and livability. So ideally, healthy may mean for you, I want to lose a little weight around my midsection because I don't feel healthy in this, this body. If I'm very overweight and I'm on the verge of type 2 diabetes because I'm feeding my body consistently with fast food and I'm not getting enough water and not moving, and how can you move towards that? Some of us struggle with what we look at in the mirror, even though it is a healthy weight, or how we move if we just suffered from an injury. And maybe we were really athletic, just suffered from an injury, and we now gained some weight and we can't function at our athletic capabilities that we were functioning at prior. That's definitely a mental struggle and a physical struggle as well. So if that's your goal, put that on there. Put that on that piece of paper, or even just think about it. Close your eyes and reflect and think about what healthy is to you. Okay. Recognize how your body is operating when you're being kind to your body. So check in with yourself daily. Check in. I like to just kind of, most of the time it happens to me at night. And I've been practicing this now for a while, since I've been treating my body nicer and not feeding myself with better foods and moving more frequently. I notice this more so when I wake up in the morning. So if I feel refreshed and I don't feel bloated and I don't feel I look at my eyes and my eyes don't look like I got zero sleep. But these are little things that now I've been practicing this, checking in with myself. And then it's really easy once you're getting used to doing that to change little things, tweak little things I noticed I didn't drink as much water yesterday. Well, that definitely could be the reason why I'm feeling so tired, things like that. So consider your sleep. Usually 6 to 8 hours a day is typically what adults require, more like 8 hours, I think, is average. And please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section. Your diet, what you're feeding your body with. So there's plenty of things out there that you can search in terms of diet, and a lot of people adhere to different diets, and some are more restrictive than others. Some people do intuitive eating, and I say, whatever you're doing, make sure that you're feeding your body in a way that you feel good about yourself, that you're being healthy in the way that you defined it, and B, in a safe manner, and one that you've done a lot of research on, especially if you're following one of those restrictive diets. And I don't mean research on websites that only promote that diet. I think it's easier to look at things that we agree with, right? So I challenge you to go ahead and do some research on those restrictive diets if that's something that you follow. Making sure you're taking your vitamins, getting enough vitamins and nutrients for that. And I'll be doing a separate little video on vitamins, especially for women. Water intake. We most of us don't get enough water in our day, and I think it's easy to put that at the wayside and instead prioritize movement or sleep or even your diet. But drink your water, hydrate, and your skin will thank you and your body will thank you. And movement. How are you moving throughout the day? How do you like to move? Do you have certain restrictions on your movement? If you're having aches or pains that day, are you listening to that? Are you listening to your body? That's definitely a way to stay in tune and check in. Just respecting that. So there's a poor correlation, just so you guys know, coming from the nursing standpoint, with the BMI and your weight and your height. So if you're looking at your BMI and you've calculated it in that BMI calculator, like google.com kind of thing, and it's saying that you're overweight or you're in the obese category, these are things that, yes, we do consider as healthcare providers, but we do take with a grain of salt, because you're not considering body fat percentage, you're not considering fat distribution, and things like that. And I really think that BMI and your weight can also be numbers that personally that you can obsess over. They can be something that's unhealthy. So if you're working with your doctor to reach a certain BMI, I always say, work with a healthcare provider that you agree with the most, that you think that is providing you the best care, and obviously, like, somebody that you trust. So if you're working with your healthcare provider to reach a certain BMI and you're in a dangerous BMI as what they identified as dangerous, then obviously omit my comments here. But I just recommend more going off how you're feeling. And if you're a competitor, if you're in like bodybuilding and stuff like that, I know they go off mainly off like body fat percentages, but we are talking more about body image. So how you're feeling and how you're seeing yourself and your body, and how you can maintain a healthy relationship in that way. So these are all things to consider. I'm not saying to measure your BMI and weigh yourself every day and define that as healthy, because that's a little obsessive. But treat yourself nicely, okay? Body image in athletes. I know, especially for us climbers out there, there's this, for women too, I think we have this view of a strong climber is going to be ripped out of her mind, and she's going to be really small, and it makes it easier, right, to get up vertically. I mean, it makes sense in our heads. And Beth Rodden, if you guys, the climber community, may know of who she is, that she is a famous climber. She's been in climbing since she's been like preteen. She was married to Tommy Caldwell. If you guys have ever seen The Dawn Wall, Tommy Caldwell is the climber that is in that movie. He made that movie. It's really great if you haven't seen it. But Beth, just this last May 2020, I will link the article in it, but she kind of blazed the path, if you will, a little bit for women in climbing and how we see ourselves and how we talk to ourselves and treat ourselves as athletes. So one of the quotes that I really liked from her article, that if you're interested in reading it, like I said, I'll just put in the comments section, but she talks about how she prided herself on how her thighs were like super tiny. She wore like an extra small sports bra. She prided herself on these things, okay, right? So that was her body image, that she was trying to look a certain way and trying to fit her body into what her brain had decided for her was most beneficial for her athleticism. And she talked about in here how she didn't get her period till age 19 and she actually prided herself on that. She realizes now this is like abnormal, but she describes it as a send at all costs culture. So she really was starving herself, and she thought it was for the benefit of her work. Her job was climbing, and she was doing great until she had her kid. And then things changed. Our hormones change, our body changes, and it's a beautiful thing throughout our lives, and our bodies carry us through these amazing things as women. We are just such strong beings, and we need to treat ourselves in that manner and be gentle, be graceful. And she talks all about that. And one of my favorite quotes, I got on the rambling thing here. Okay, so my favorite quote: we need to start celebrating a culture that values sustainability, longevity, and health. It's time to let go of the unrealistic expectations of what our bodies should look like. So she really talks about celebrating where you're at. And that's, I guess, what I'm also trying to talk about in this video here is celebrating where you're at. Celebrating what your body's been doing for you. So what we can do to kind of like help us figure out how to actually go about doing that, that more conscious appreciation is another thing here, and get that pencil back out. And if you're more of just a thinker, go ahead and just think about these with me. So write down 5 affirmations. Close your eyes and think about somebody that you love. How long does it take to think about yourself as somebody that you love? Reflect on that. Write down, or just out loud speak 5 things that you would say to that person or yourself. Something that you know that you would only say to this person. Honest, truthful, nice things. And you can pause this video again. And I want you to, once you're finished writing those down, I want you to say that, find a mirror somewhere, find your phone if you don't have a mirror, and talking into it on the camera, front facing. Just see yourself, look yourself in the eye, and repeat those things. And you can pause me again here. So it's a very powerful exercise, and it's like step 1 into kind of realizing how we speak to ourselves on a daily basis. If somebody's constantly talking to themselves negatively, they're going to put out that negative energy and that negative experience that they're experiencing constantly to the world. And we want to lift each other up as women, and that is like the pinnacle of feminism, which is really important in our society. So talk each other up. Empowered women empower women. Super corny, but I love that quote. So after that activity, I just want to take a couple breaths with you guys. So let's take some breaths. Let's inhale for 6 seconds in and 8 seconds out. Here we go. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And keep going here. You can think about your affirmations as you're doing this. Check in with yourself. Be aware of your capabilities. Let's keep going. Two more. Last one. So you keep breathing if you want to, but I just want you guys to be aware of everything that it took for you to get here, that it took for you to sit through this like 15 minutes of video, and it was probably uncomfortable for some of us. I still go through daily struggle of being uncomfortable confronting my negative thoughts, and that's the biggest step to take, is to see that thought and recognize it as negative, or recognize it as this isn't servicing me, and let it go. So use your, now you have that knowledge about the checking in with yourself, practice that daily. Be aware of how your body feels right now. Is your body thanking you? Is your brain thanking you for taking the time to listen to this and taking the time to take care of yourself and write down affirmations and speak to yourself kindly and breathe. And I just thank you guys for taking the time here with me to talk about all this. And this is such this topic cannot be covered in this short time that I'm talking about this. So hit the comments section. Follow me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram in here too. I love talking with you guys about this stuff. I love just talking about, I ramble about women's empowerment stuff forever. So if you're ever bored, just hit me up. But otherwise, you can also look at my webinar. I do not talk about body image in there, but I do talk a little bit about the vitamins and diet and stuff like that, especially for women, and vaginal health. So you can still go purchase that over at Outdoor Women's Wellness. And I hope to see you guys and hear from you guys in the future. Otherwise, you have a good rest of your day, night,